Yo, brothers, it's been too long. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. It's gonna take me a while to recalibrate, not gonna lie. We're gonna do some turbos today. It'll be a short stream, most likely, unless I get insanely inspired. Just always way easier for me to just slowly ease my way back into it after long breaks like I've had. So, excuse me. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. It's been ages. I was in Vegas for a month. That was a month ago, like a month back. But yeah, went to Vegas, came back, and then I just needed more time, just needed more time. So that's what happened. But I'll be back. Holy shit, it's quite green in here. Yeah, was in Vegas for a month. Um, Played a bunch of 20s over there, a bunch of cash games. It was pretty cool actually. Quite the experience. Met a bunch of absolute units. Caught up with a bunch of friends who I've been talking on Discord with for ages and ages. Just ended up being quite transformative of an experience, really. So I'm sure I'll go into more detail at some point. But coming back from Vegas to wintry cold Dunedin was tougher than I anticipated. So I don't know, been in a bit of a funk. Not gonna lie, been a bit down on the dumps. Had some shit to think about. Boom. That month in Vegas, though, man, I will say a month is enough for me. Having said that, looking forward to going back next year if the opportunity arises. Went over to Vegas, landed in the airport, and when you land in Vegas, you just immediately met by a row of slot machines. No cap, it's just a row of slots. You get off the plane and it's like, oh, you want to gamble? You want to gamble? Like for everything before you even leave the fucking airport? Is that what you'd like to do now? So you can do that. I didn't do that, but how'd the cash games go? Cash games were good. Profited by I played 2-5 mostly. Oh, GG. Played 2-5. I think I was up like 2k in the cash games by the end. Played 3 sessions, I think, of cash games because I had to sort of mix in the cash games in between all the tourneys I was playing. I'd be playing tourneys like every day, so it would be bust a tourney, go play a cash game type of deal, or if I was, or make a day two, play a cash game or something. I don't think there was any day where I just straight up played a cash game. But having said that, next time I go to Vegas, I'll be looking to just set aside a few days to just chill and play cash, and then see the city a bit more. But most of my days would just be wake up at like 9 or 10 or whatever, kind of early, not that early, not that late. Generally have an idea of what I was gonna do tourney wise the day before, and I'd just be like setting up to play the tourney on the day. In the beginning, it was real chill. I was just playing like real low stakes. I say low stakes. It's not even that low stakes. It's like $800 tourneys and 1Ks and shit. But when you're in Vegas, they kind of feel like low stakes tourneys. When you've got 5Ks and 10Ks floating about, it's the temptations. But it was good. First day of the first tourney I played, I ended up getting seventh. It was an $800 freeze out at the MGM Grand, and the MGM Grand it's a bit of an enigma because the way they did it was they set up, they weren't necessarily prepared for the tournament series, I don't think, because they basically have a huge room where there's a bunch of slot machines like, and this big walkway. It's just the main area basically, and then what they did was they cleared out a bunch of the slot machines in the middle bit, and they turned that into a little poker lounge type thing. So it wasn't like a segregated poker room like you'd imagine. They had a poker room off to the side, which was part of it. I think that's their original poker room, but they basically cleared out a bunch of slot machines, put all these tables in the middle of this huge room, and there's just like slot machines all around the outside, and a bunch of absolute degenerate gumbos just smoking darts, huffing on joints. Oh my god! Because you can smoke, you can. Many of you already know this because you're probably from the USA's, and you can smoke durries inside. You smoke ciggies inside, so you just got a bunch of absolute units smoking ciggies at the slot machines, and you just. I swear, by day 3, I had a smoker's cough just because I was in the vicinity of people just huffing durries. Yeah, I got 7th in my first tourney for like 2k. It was bittersweet. Lost a 4-1 to bust after coming into the FT with a chip lead. So it's just like, yeah, that's a cool story, bro. But you know, it was like 23k for the win, so it would have been a pretty interesting little way to start things off. Just like free rolling the trip off the first little tiny tournament. It wasn't even a World Series event. It was just a random side tournament at the MGM because the World Series of Poker was at Bally's Casino. And that place is fucking crazy. Jack. Next couple of tourneys didn't go as well. Definitely went through a little patch of bricking things off, and then oh nice. Let's go. There's a tourney at the Golden Nugget. There's a $1,500 freeze out. Or was it a rebuy? I can't remember. It's a good tourney though. I basically sat down at my table. Henry was to my right. This is Bolero. This is one of the fellas I was flatting with over there. How's it? Whatever you call it, wherever you're from, flatting, Airbnb, whatever you fucking. I don't know. Don't talk to me. He gets plopped to my right. He's obviously an absolute shark, and pretty much just get drilled in every pot by the guy. Like he would raise, I'd 3-bet, and he'd just like stubbornly click me off, you know. Just call me down, had the nuts every time. And then I busted my first bullet, which was fine. But the second bullet on the next day, I get sat by Patrick, Egyptian, another one of my flatmates. And then I pretty much did to him what I did to Henry, what Henry did to me. Because variance, lol. And that was the golden bullet, really. I pretty much just ran super hot in that tourney. Just had chips every day. It was a 3-day event, I think. So day 1 was just a dream. End of the day, I think I was second in chips. Out of... It was a $1 million guarantee, so... My flight had about 300 players. 3 days, 3 flights, all adding up to 1,000 players, approximately. So yeah, we're about 300 players. Finished the day in second place out of maybe 50 or 40 at the end of the day. And then day 2 was pretty much the same. Just went straight into day 2, just ran everyone over. It was just like chip leading, second, third in chips the whole time, and then it's just crazy. This actually the dream. And then yeah, once I hit like final 18, that was when I started to sort of hit some adversity. There was definitely some people playing back at me. It's just the way it goes. Obviously, poker. Most of the time, it's just going to be people who are just picking up hands, just playing the hands, really. But I didn't feel like it was people playing back at me for the sake of playing back at me. I was obviously wearing stars patches and stuff, so they knew that I was like some type of influencer / professional. So that maybe that would induce some players to make some hero plays, but I don't think so. I don't get that vibe from anyone. Not that I'm a seasoned pro, that I wouldn't really know. I don't think if they were if they were doing that or not, but it's just the way it felt at the time. And then yeah, ended up blasting it off in a spot where it's just like, no, dude. It's a spot where I knew that if I was playing online and I had like the screen in front of me, and if I could see the hand for what it was, I just know that deep down I would never actually take the spot. It was like a three bet situation post flop, and I had pocket nines on a paired board, and it was a big blind defend. I'm just like, come on, man, you know this guy's gonna have some dodgy ass hands here, and he's gonna have the nuts. It was like 9-6-6. I don't know what it was. The guy ended up having trips, but I won't bore you with the details. But I ended up just punting it off pretty much for 11th for about 15k. It was like I think it was about 180k up top or something. So yeah, you can imagine that's. I felt that. I felt that one. It was not easy. It wasn't immediate though. I didn't feel the pain straight away. It took a few days for me to realize, sort of like what the reality of it was. But it's all good. Pav was pretty good in helping me deal with that actually, because he put it into perspective. Because at the time my stack was probably worth maybe 30k in terms of EV, because I had. I mean, it wasn't a huge stack. It was like 30 big blinds. So my stack was worth a decent chunk. So, and I ended up cashing for 15k. So I cost myself. I didn't cost myself 200k, right? I cost myself maybe 15k in EV on the back of the mistake. And maybe that mistake turns into some plus EV spots in the future, and I can like recall on that, and it didn't traumatize me, so it's all part of it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I went deep as fuck. It wasn't a World Series event, but it was like a solid. It was like a Poker News sponsored event. Ended up getting pretty deep in that. Would have been cool to FT that, but can't win them all, can you? A lot of really good people on the tables who would see like the stars badge and then spark off a conversation, and that's more of what happened, to be honest. It's just like meeting a bunch of good dudes at the tables, good men and women just chugging away. Come on. Oh, man. All in all, though, ended up down about 8k on the trip, so it was not a profitable trip, but it was good in terms of experiences.